Okay, so you were dealing with some family members, especially, that they really wanted you to betray yourself in order for them to, I'm hearing, have control over you, get you to be in position, like fulfill the role and the dynamic of this narcissistic family unit that you are a part of. And they also wanted to play with your emotions. They wanted to see you in a stressful situation. They wanted you to betray yourself to please them. And they were very manipulative with your energy. Like they basically used your love against you. So if there are any people within, okay, so for some of you, these people, they used their children to come, like, they use their children to come against you. The love that you have for their children to come against you. Like, they know for a fact that you love their children. These are like your nieces and nephews. They know for a fact that you love your nieces and nephews as if they were your own children. And because they cannot control you, and they don't want to respect the boundaries that you are setting with certain toxic family members within your family, like this could be another sibling, or this could be a parent that you've decided to cut off and go no contact with and block. They didn't like the fact that you set those boundaries. So what they decided to do is they decided to control you and manipulate you, and basically try to force you to remove your boundaries that you have set with these toxic family members by basically threatening the relationship that you have with your nieces and nephews. And what I mean by that is basically they know how much you love your nieces and nephews. They know how much they mean to you. They know that they are very special to you. So they know that they can use those children to pull on your heartstrings and to control you like a puppet, and they're the puppeteer. So they know that if they can sort of jeopardize your relationship with them, sabotage any time that you're trying to spend with them, or try to revoke that access that you have to your nieces and nephews, or even try to have you miss out on opportunities of seeing them, spending time with them, visiting with them, and even speaking to them. They felt that if they could do that, if they could stand in the way of you spending time with your nieces and nephews, and basically, like, they wanted to give you an ultimatum. Like, if you want to see your nieces and nephews, then you are going to have to unblock your parent. You're going to have to unblock that sibling. You're going to have to start doing better with how you handle them, with how you treat them. You're going to have to really start changing your energy and changing your attitude, and basically trying to gaslight you and project onto you as if, yes, I'm fucking talking about you. I know you're fucking watching me right now. So basically, they wanted to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. These messages very much trigger me because I know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna say your name because you know who you are. But this just really triggers me, bro. It does. But anyway, the reason why they do this is because they do not like the fact that you are setting boundaries with these toxic family members, because when you're setting these boundaries, you are telling the truth. You are bringing the truth to the light. Whatever was done in the dark, you're bringing it to the light. And they didn't like the fact that you were bringing to light all of the abuse that your toxic family members, like this toxic sibling, this toxic parent, they didn't like the fact that you were bringing this out into the forefront. You were bringing it up to the surface because they tried to sweep that shit under the rug. and you're no longer sweeping that shit under the rug. You're pulling the rug over, and you're like, no, we need to deal with this. We need to address this. And by you speaking your truth, about you coming out and telling the truth about how, no, this toxic parent is abusive, they are manipulative, they are controlling, they are cold-hearted, they have no respect for anybody else, they are just selfish, they are cold-hearted, they are cruel, they are wicked. By you bringing that truth out, it was forcing them, this certain family member, it was forcing this family member to, like, this could be a sibling, this could be a cousin, this could be an aunt or uncle, or whatever the case is. So if this was dealing with a parent, this is like, you know, like maybe like an aunt or uncle is trying to like prevent you from seeing their children because they're like defending their sibling, which is your parent. This, take it how it resonates. This is different for everyone. But basically, this family member or this relative, they have been living in denial. They are heavily in denial. Yes, you are. They are heavily in denial because they were able to escape the abuse, move on with their life, and move to a different environment. They were able to move to like a different state or a different city. Like, they were able to just move on with their life and not be around this toxic family member. Okay. And by them removing themselves, they escape the abuse. And here's the thing, they know for a fact that your toxic sibling, your toxic parent is abusive. This family member that I'm talking about that's like trying to manipulate you and trying to sabotage your relationship with your nieces and nephews, that family member knows for a fact that your sibling, your parent, is very abusive and very toxic. That's why they got away. That is why they stayed away, and that is why they have not come back. But what they were able to do is they were able to live this illusion and just lie to themselves as if everything was all fine and dandy, everything was sweet peachy keen and rainbows and sunshine and flowers and unicorns and dandelions, and everything was just so fine, and they just have this wonderful parent, and they just want to lie to themselves as if their parent or this sibling is just nothing but a saint, this holy person, this godly person, when everybody fucking knows that this person is evil and wicked and cold-hearted, including them. But what was happening is they were telling themselves an illusion. They were literally deluding themselves, deceiving themselves, and being heavily in denial because, okay, what I'm getting right now is they were going through the 5 stages of grief. And you know how part of the stages of grief is bargaining and denial? So they were kind of in this loop of bargaining, like, well, maybe they are not that bad. No, maybe it was as bad as it actually was. Or maybe it wasn't. Like, they're going back and forth on if it was bad or not, but they're not grounded in it. They're not standing in their own truth on how they truly feel. And also, they're heavy in denial because, in that constant loop of denial, because they don't want to face the truth. They'd rather avoid it and not look at it and just pretend it doesn't exist because that's easier for them to actually face it head on. So they're back and forth between that bargaining and denial, and with the depression, you know. Now, they have been avoiding the anger. You know what I'm saying? They've been avoiding that anger because they're afraid of their own anger. That's why when you get angry, they want to call you childish, they want to call you immature, all because they don't want to deal with their anger. But your anger is righteous anger, and you're not afraid to face it, you're not afraid to express it, but they are. So they want to try to police how you handle your anger, all because they try to suppress their anger because they're afraid of theirs. And it's like, just because they are afraid of their anger doesn't mean that you are afraid of yours. And then the whole part of the acceptance, they haven't even gotten to the stage of acceptance yet because they haven't been through and defeated and conquered every single stage of grief. And the other 4 stages, they haven't gotten through to them. They haven't fully gotten through to it. That's why they haven't gotten to acceptance yet. I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this because I'm running out of time. But this family member is heavy in denial because they are afraid to face the truth of how horrific their childhood actually was and how abusive their parent and this sibling actually is. It's easier for them to pretend that that didn't happen because then they have to face that all of the trauma that they got from that experience they are living with, and they don't